Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to math. This is going to be Unit 7, Lesson 5, equivalent fractions again, but this time using division. You're going to see a lot of similarities and hopefully make some connections to our last lesson using multiplication. We're going to start with fraction bars again, and then we're going to see the division rule and learn that method and put it into place with some practice and using that multiplication table again if you need to. All right, so what you'll need today, you'll need your pencil, your scratch paper, and Math Journal 347 to 350. Once again, we'll do the first two more as just discussion and trying to learn what the equivalents look like and then how we can find those each time. So let's begin. All right, open up to 347 and you should see the following. It says simplify fractions. So anytime you see simplify or reduce, that's what they mean the same thing. Maria had 12 boxes of apricots. She sold 10 of the boxes. Then Maria said that she sold 5/6 of the boxes. She made this drawing to show that 10/12 and 5/6 are equivalent fraction. Do you agree that 10/12 and 5/6 are equivalent? Well, do they cover the same amount of space? Absolutely, they do. They are equivalent because they cover that same length. And so yes, they are. Maria formed groups of twelfths to get a greater unit fraction. What is that unit fraction? Well, that unit fraction now becomes 1/6, right? So 2/12 is the same as 1/6. Okay, so that tells us how many twelfths did she put into each group? Well, these 2/12 are in the same group as 1/6. So two groups now, or two 2/12 equal 1/6. Let's look at this. That's the way I wanted to go with that. Show how you can find the equivalent fraction by dividing the number and denominator by the group size. So remember last week, what we did was we multiplied the top and bottom by the same number. Well, when we're combining groups now, right, we're going to be dividing by that same amount. Okay, so what we did is we started with 10/12. We divided each of the two groups, right? We took each of these groups into two, and what we came up with was it was the same as 5/6, but we did the same to the top as we did to the bottom again. And so all that means is to simplify a fraction, right? That word simplify is key today. Divide the numerator and denominator of the fraction by the same number to make an equivalent fraction from fewer but larger unit fractions. Okay, so all that means is our fewer sixths were divided by 2 and we made more twelfths, but the equivalent amount. Okay, so let's get some practice with that. So the next screen, you're going to see the bottom of what you see on your page. It says use what you know to simplify each fraction to make an equivalent fraction with a unit fraction of 1/6. Well, here's what we see. Let's figure out how we can go from 8/12 to sixths. And what I see is 8/12. Well, 12 divided by what got me to 6? No, 12 divided by 2. Got me to 6. Well, if I do that to the bottom, I have to do the same thing to the top because really all I'm doing now is dividing by one whole. 2 halves, right? That's still one whole. Anything divided by 1 stays the same. So it's going to stay 8/12. It's going to look different though. So it'll be equal to 8/12. So what is 8 divided by 2? That gets me to 4. Okay. Now this one looks a little more confusing, but really it's not, right? And so let's look at 14/12. We got to figure out how can we get to sixths? Well, 12 divided by what got me to 6? Or I can think of it backwards if I like working in multiplication. 6 times what gets me up to 12? Oh, 2. Well, I know then I got to do the same to the top. I'm dividing by 2. Or what times 2 gets me to 14? 7. But my numerator is bigger than the denominator. That's improper. What that means is it's greater than 1. So I'm going to say I have one whole here because that's really 6/6, right? And that leaves me with one extra 6. So really this is the same as 1 and 1/6, right? And so that's kind of a review of last week as well. All right, now let's try and do that with 9/12. Okay, that's easy. 12 divided by 2 got me to 6. 9 divided by 2, I don't know that. What times 2 gets me to 9? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. Shoot, I can't do that. So one thing you got to be aware of is with division, when we're doing this, both the top and the bottom have to be divisible by that number. So in this case, 9/12 can't get divided by 2 in order to equal something in sixths, because the 9 would not be an even amount of pieces. Okay? So you just got to make sure that it's the same number that's divided by both the top and the bottom. Or if you're thinking of it backwards and going with multiplication, the same number can get multiplied by it. Okay? All right. So turn the page, and it says look at the thirds bar. Circle enough unit fractions on each of the other bars to equal 1/3. Oh, okay. So I see 1/3 down here. Well, I'm going to circle the same amount. So if that was 1/3, 1/3 is the same as 2/6. Now let's circle ninths. How many ninths? 3 ninths. Hopefully you're seeing a pattern here. We have 4/12. We have 5/15, and then we also have 6/18. Okay, and so all of those are equal, and so that's what this chain shows. Now, and really what it's asking us here, it says discuss how many parts of the fraction bars you circled show this chain of equivalent fractions. How the parts of the fraction bars you circled show equivalent fractions. How explain how each different group of unit fractions is equal to 1/3. Well, they're all 1/3 because they cover the same space. They go the same length, like we talked about in the first problem, right? And so 1/3 is 2/6 because 2 of these pieces is equal to 1 of the 1/3 pieces. Same thing with 3 ninths, 4/12, 5/15, and 6/18. Well, and hopefully what you're noticing is, if we were to think about all of them as equal to 1/3, well, 6/18, if you divide the top and the bottom both by 6, you'd come up with 1/3. 5/15, if you divide the top and the bottom by 5, you'd come up with 1/3. Same with 4/12, 3 ninths, and 2/6. If you divide by the same number in the top and the bottom, you're going to get that equivalent fraction. And so all they were asking for with that is just that you're showing that they're equivalent and what that relationship with the numerator and denominator is. And so for the group size for each fraction in the chain of equivalent fractions, the first one's done for us. So 6/18, this was 5/15, 4/12, 3 ninths, 2/6, and 1/3. Okay, now let's get a little practice. So I'm going to do the first one's done for us. We'll do another one, and then I'll let you pause it and try and do the last 3. And so they started with 6/18. In order to get to 1/3, and this is what I was talking about above, you divide the top and the bottom by 6. Well, in order to get back to 1/3 from 5/15, you got to divide the top and the bottom both by 5. Okay? And if you're thinking about multiplication, just say 1 times what gets me back to 5? Well, that's 5. 3 times what gets me back to 15? Well, that's 5. So 5/5 is what you're dividing by. And we know that's equal to 1 whole. So I'm not changing the value, I just change what it looks like. All right, pause the video now. Figure it out for 4/12, 3 ninths, and 2/6. Okay, see how you did. And I think most of you saw the pattern, right? You're dividing by 4/4, 3/3, and 2/2. That all gets you back to 1/3. Good. All right, so and this is our kind of last discussion page before I let you really get working today. So in lesson 4, use multiplication to find equivalent fractions by moving from left to right on the multiplication table. What happens to the fractions as you move from left to right? How does the size of the unit fraction change? And how does the number of unit fractions change? Oh, that is a wordy question. Holy cow. So what we're looking at is as we move from left to right, as we go from 1/3 to 5/15, right? The number of pieces that we have, although it's the same value for the fractional value, 5 pieces is more than 1. But the unit size of the piece goes from thirds to 15ths. So that unit size is getting smaller. The number of unit pieces we have is growing larger. Okay, and so the fractions are all equivalent, but the numerators, the top numbers, increase, right? We need more of them. The unit fraction decreases, so that unit size, right? Thirds to 15ths. So size is decreasing. And so the number of pieces we need goes up. We need more. Well, that same idea is applied now when we go right to left. So the same question now, but using division. It says, You can also make equivalent fractions using division by simplifying when you move from right to left on the multiplication table. What happens to the fractions as you move from right to left? How does the unit size of the unit fraction change? And how does the number of unit fractions change? Well, we started with 5/15 over here, and then when you're dividing, they get smaller. So if I divide 5 by 5, I get 1. If I divide 15 by 5, I get 3. So my new fraction is 1/3. So the size of my pieces got bigger, but now I need less pieces, right? I only need one piece to equal that what used to equal 5 pieces. And so that same idea, the fractions, yes, are still equivalent, but the numerator and denominators decrease, right? The unit fraction increases, so the size of the fraction, the whole increases, or not the whole, but the size of the pieces that makes the whole get bigger, and the number of the fractions, unit fractions that you need decreases, goes down from 5 to 1. Okay, so all that being said, now let's get some practice here. This is how we use the table, right, for multiplication last week, and you can use it again if you'd like. Here are 2 more rows from the multiplication table moved together. These rows can be used to generate a chain of fractions equivalent to 4/8. Well, we see 4/8 is going to be the same as, if I multiply each of those by 2, my new fraction becomes 8/16. So in this box, I would write 2 and 2, and that's going to equal 8/16. Okay? Try and do another one here, right? See what you can come up with. Any of these are going to be equivalent fractions to 4/8. And then for 15, I'll do one of these as well. You got to find the specific fraction that works, right? And so 40 divided by something got me to 8, right? Well, let's look at that. How did I get to 40 from 8? Oh, it was 5, right? So I know I'm dividing by 5 in this box. So the top and the bottom have to be the same to be equivalent. You have to do the same thing at the top as you do to the bottom. So I know 20 divided by 5 was 4, 40 divided by 5 was 8. So that's how I got to 4/8 by 5/5. Okay? And then down here, you're going to find a chain of equivalents, right? So look at the pattern on the bottom, right? Whatever I'm multiplying by on the bottom is what I have to multiply by on the top. So this is very similar to what you were doing last week. So go from 2 to 4 times 2. In order to go from 4 to 8, times 2 again. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. All right? Now, for these, you're going to go ahead and you're going to choose the number to put into the top to start with. You can start with 1/5, you could start with 4/5, right? You're going to just make sure you're multiplying by the same to the top and the bottom each time to get equivalence. So there's not just one right answer for these. You might see when I put the answers up that you have something different, but if you did the same to the top as you did to the bottom, it's still going to be equivalent, okay? And then simplify these fractions. Remember, that just means reduce it. So what I want you to think about as a hint, try numbers that are easy to work with. So 2s, 5s, 10s, see if they can divide by that, and if it helps you to think of it backwards, do that. Right? So for the first one, I'm just going to see, does 2 work? 2 goes into 8, yep. 2 goes into 10, perfect. Right? You got to make sure it works. For this one, I could not have used 5 because 10 divided by 5 is 2, yes, but 8 divided by 5 doesn't work evenly. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my answer is 4/5. Go ahead and continue to work on those as well. And the bottom is a little bit trickier. See if you can figure these out, right? So 16/8, if I'm dividing here by 2, right? Divide by 2, divide by 2, right? Divide by 2, but see if you can come up with numbers in the numerators that will work every time. Okay, make sure it divides them evenly. Pause now, go ahead and work. I'll talk more about these in a minute. Go ahead. All right, so you see your answers. I think if you used the table correctly, you should have gotten those. Here are example answers that you may have had, right? You didn't necessarily need these. You could have also, for example, could have had 2/5, 4/10, 8/20. These aren't the only correct answers. Check your answers down below here. Some of these, once again, you could have, for 29 example, maybe you divided by 2 and made it 20/50ths. Maybe you divided by 5, all right? And then for the last one, these are example answers as well. Now, your job, right, is to homework 7.5 and fluency check 7.1 in the non